During PAX East, the latest Baldur's Gate 3 trailer just dropped, which was peppered with numerous Easter eggs and references to explore, as well as a 3D world, mysterious returning villains, and more of the confirmed storyline to boot. So here is everything we know about Baldur's Gate 3, starting with the intro cinematic. As explained by Sven Vinker, founder of Larian Studios, which many of you may recognize through the acclaimed Divinity series, taking over in Baldur's Gate 3 for BioWare and the now defunct Black Isle Studios. The opening shot reveals a carving in stone of what appears to be an Illithid or Mind Flayer origins, which we will refer to them interchangeably throughout the video. It seems there is a noble in the center, or Uli Tharid as they are known, who are treated as minor gods in the Mind Flayer society, or at least someone of great import and destiny to have their own sculpture. The creature bearing a staff is being worshipped by what seem to be humanoids flanking them on the left and right, and other Illithids are seen in the center, shown not to be kneeling, but looking to board the great vessel which they stand atop. This vessel, as seen later in the trailer, is a nautiloid, which is used for planar travel, and we will break down further why it's important. Quick aside, if the name Nautiloid sounds at all familiar, it's because it's named after the conch-shell-shaped prehistoric creature of the same name. Except instead of traveling through the oceans, as seen in this clip, they used to astral travel for the Mind Flayers, and there's only a finite number left, so they are held in great esteem. It's now we can confirm we did get a brief glimpse of the interplanar vehicle in the previous trailer. All in all, this seems to be alluding to a prophecy among the Mind Flayers, which we too will break down further as the trailer continues. It's then the camera pans down and we get a glimpse of the Mind Flayers' spawning room. The room itself is adorned with several holding vessels to restrain humanoid victims for the Illithid to impregnate against their will, and a mysterious fleshy bulb-shaped pod is in the middle of the room. The room opens to reveal a Mind Flayer standing on its fleshy floor, who shifts from standing on foot to floating, demonstrating first its powerful innate psionic abilities. One such is flight. As it floats through the room past the pod on its left, it casually waves its hand and releases its first victim inside its prison from what appears to be an Illithid-induced slumber. The victim now coming to is revealed to be that of the Githyanki species. The Githyanki are sworn enemies of the Mind Flayers, being enslaved for much of their existence by the Illithids. Their life, now free of the Mind Flayers, is mostly devoted to that of revenge. As the Gith comes to, the camera then switches from third person to first as we get a glimpse of another view of an unknown captive to the Gith's right. It's then we see the Mind Flayer open its palm and use its psionic abilities to reveal the horrible contents of the fleshy flower in the center of the room. It is indeed a tadpole spawning chamber, or possibly Elder Brain tank. The Mind Flayer tadpoles are how they reproduce. The tadpoles that survived to maturity were put through the ceremony of ceremorphosis, where each was implanted into a humanoid victim and devoured its brain, taking its place and merging with the body to transform into a new Illithid. Only some humanoid species were suitable hosts for Illithid tadpoles. The rest become tadpole food. We then see the Gith female be forcibly turned into a host and resealed in their cage for later uses. It is then the Mind Flayer casually plucks another tadpole from the tank and turns towards what appears to be us, or the person whose view we are looking from, and the camera goes dark briefly. At this time, I think it's prudent I point out that we are most likely seeing from the player's point of view. In the official Larian Gazette, a blurb about the player character was revealed saying, "You are burdened with a great power devouring you from within. How far down the path of darkness will you let it take you? Fate of Farron is on your party's shoulders. Will you carry it to salvation or descend with it to hell?" The question posits that we may have been infected by a Mind Flayer noble or Uli Tharid with advanced ceremorphosis, basically a sped up version of turning into a Mind Flayer / demigod in their species. However, as seen in the previous prophetical art, the Ulithid is worshipped as a demigod by man and Illithid alike, and shows we may be siding with the Illithids or perhaps against them. This theory is further bolstered as before we again see from the same point of view but a more blurred vision, we see the Mind Flayer leave its victim alive but dazed in the spawning chamber. It's then we see the sides of the spawning chambers are adorned with fallen Illithids. Whether they were killed by the main Ulithid remains to be seen. However, it's then we see the Ulithid use its psionic abilities to control a great Nautiloid ship, and appears that they may have died from unknown wounds or malnutrition on their long journey. The Nautiloid ship emerges from the clouds over the city, which isn't Baldur's Gate this time, and let me know what it is in the comments below, as it's only the icon that I cannot place in this trailer, to be honest. A rightly petrified guard races up the bell tower, but it's quickly smashed by a large tentacle before he can alert the residents, and showcases how the Uli Tharid pilots said vehicle using its psionic movements alone. As the tower is crushed, residents are plucked by the tentacles and disintegrate upon contact. It's then shown that this doesn't kill them where they stand, but rather they are filling up the various pods in the ship through teleportation, showing that either they may be utilized as food for the tadpole tank or more victims to further fill the fallen ranks of the Uli Tharid's brethren and create an army on Farron. After terrorizing the city for some time, behind the Nautiloid appears a portal which bursts forth 3 red dragons with Githyanki pilots on each. The Gith hunting party then closes in on the Nautiloid, burning it with fire and ripping off errant tentacles with ease. The Nautiloid isn't without its defenses, as it utilizes brute force with tentacle slaps to demount a dragon rider. Before the Gith can plummet to their watery death, it's met again by its dragon host, scooping it up, showcasing their symbiotic relationship. But how is a Gith controlling a dragon? Well, the Gith made a pact with the evil dragon Tiamat, and the Gith received red dragons who served the Githyanki during their young age. As soon as they reach adulthood, the red dragons are dismissed, and their payment for their service is they keep the wealth accumulated over their years of service and replaced by younger dragons. It's then we see the Ulithid use a very Avatar-esque fleshy plug ability to teleport the Nautiloid, trying to evade the dragons as it jumps to an icy mountainous region. However, the Gith showcase the ability to teleport on a whim and somehow track down the Nautiloid. It's then shown the Gith female struggling further to break free, and we can't help but wonder if she bears any status in the Gith, or may help free the player character later as she looses herself from her bonds. As the Nautiloid looks to slam into a nearby ice wall, the ship is successfully jumped away, and a red dragon howls in anger as the Gith hunting party have lost their quarry. That's it for the Baldur's Gate reveal intro. Some of the major questions and talking points to consider are the following. The previous storyline of Baal, the Lord of Murder, seems to have reached its natural conclusion. Instead, we do have a new storyline where it seems we, as the player, will be either able to help the Illithid in bolstering their ranks and terrorizing Farron, and maybe even utilize their vehicles once fixed to travel to other planar dimensions, but how will this work? If we succumb to becoming one of their noble, the Uli Tharid, will we have to play as a gross mind flayer who prefers to utilize psionic abilities versus melee attacks or standard magics? How will that affect classes? Surely you won't be able to switch between forms like the Slayer in Baldur's Gate 2, or maybe there is some kind of quick ceremorphosis / reverting back, but after what we saw happens to the Flaming Fist Guard in the previous trailer, I somehow highly doubt that. Also, if we side with the Gith, what is their intended outcome outside of killing the Mind Flayers? The Gith, although deserving of revenge, are in league with an evil dragoness, Tiamat, in a bargain to help them destroy the Mind Flayers. The Mind Flayers themselves, dominating new societies, are also ranked as evil. How would, say, a lawful good paladin type tread this treacherous ground and leave their alignment storyline seeming true to the player? I guess only time will tell. I will be covering a breakdown of the gameplay shown at PAX East and the game up to and beyond launch, so let me know in the comments below if there's anything I missed outside of the city, and make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date till then. Thanks for watching, and until next time, travel.